Frightening encounter, a Boy Scout leader attacked by a bear on a hike. The tactic the scouts he was with what they used to get away just ahead.
Also, harsh words when an accused murderer says his victim told him that set him off. That's coming up.
Also, fighting for life, what police say two former friends fought over that has one battling life-threatening injuries this morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to KRQE News 13 this morning. I'm Adam Atchison.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Crystal Gutierrez. Today's Monday, December 21st. Beautiful weekend. Changes now making their way into the forecast as we're getting ready for a big holiday.
I know. Countdown is on. Kristen Curry is watching what we can expect. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. That's right. At least we're still looking at temperatures near average, and the winds won't be nearly as strong as what we had developed yesterday. When it comes to those current temps, though, it's still cold out there. 34 degrees, winds out of the southeast coming at us at about 6 miles per hour. And you'll notice those temps across the state. Most of northern New Mexico down to the 20s and low 30s. To the south, we're seeing more of those 30s, but everybody's going to need a jacket this morning. Hourly forecast puts us in the low 40s by lunchtime. We'll top out in the upper 40s later on today. So like I said, about average for this time of year, and we're going to stay there for the next couple of days, but we will get these small storms in out of our northern New Mexico. It'll help get the rain and the snow chances back from the northern mountains, even the northwestern corner likely to see some activity as early as tomorrow morning. Some spot showers to watch for here in the metro before a much bigger storm looks to arrive for the weekend. Details on this week's new 7-day forecast here in about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Kristen. This morning, a man is in critical condition. This after police say former service buddies got into a war of words that turned violent. It all happened early yesterday morning when police got a call about a stabbing. It was at an apartment complex near Cottonwood Mall. Police say the victim was talking about the suspect, Mark Bryan, and that's when they say Bryan stabbed him.
Mr. Bryan did state that somehow the victim was talking some type of trash about his family and he stabbed him in the throat. Extremely brutal crime.
Right now, the victim is at the hospital while Bryan is locked up at MDC. For now, he's being charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Police say Bryan and the victim both served together in the National Guard. They also say Bryan had been drinking before the stabbing.
The man who police say was caught on camera breaking into a downtown cosmetics business is still behind bars as you wake up today. APD says Jesse Ramos broke into the Urban Fresh Cosmetics near Gold and Broadway early Friday. The owner and his family live above the business, and the owner says he realized the store had been burglarized when he woke up to feed his pet pig.
First thing through my head is who, what, when, where, why, and then second thing is thank God I have good insurance, and ultimately nobody was hurt.
Police say Ramos got away, though, with a number of computers and cash in a stolen Jeep, but left his jacket, a glove, and his fingerprints behind. Ramos is facing a string of theft-related felony charges this morning.
Moving on to this developing story this morning, a man who police say beat an older man to death will be in jail for a while. According to a criminal complaint, Jacob Lopez hit Donald DeLoach several times and stole his backpack. Witnesses say Lopez claimed the victim had called him the N-word. Police tied him to the crime using DNA and surveillance video. Lopez is now facing murder charges and is at MDC on a no-bond hold.
The investigation into an officer-involved shooting in Taos continues this morning. It happened just after 7 on Friday night when Taos police and the Taos County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a domestic violence call. A male suspect, they say, who was armed was killed by police gunfire. Investigators have not said if that suspect pointed the gun or fired shots before he was killed. On
to news happening today. Some schools in New Hampshire will not open their doors this morning following a threat of violence. Officials say they don't know how credible the threat is, but they say it's specific. So yesterday, the school district superintendent decided all public schools would be closed today out of an abundance of caution. 2 of the country's biggest school districts received similar threats last week. Los Angeles called off school for a day, while New York dismissed the threat they received as a hoax.
Also today, the man accused of purchasing 2 assault rifles used in the San Bernardino terror attacks is expected to appear in court this morning for a bail and detention hearing. Enrique Marquez, a neighborhood friend of Syed Farouk, stands accused of conspiring to provide material support to terrorism as well as immigration fraud. Federal prosecutors want to keep him in jail, saying he would be a flight risk.
Happening tonight, SpaceX will try and safely land a rocket once again after launching a cargo to the International Space Station. They're expected to launch its Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral around 9 tonight. It will be the 4th time SpaceX will try to safely land a rocket after a flight. This would allow the reuse of the rocket and save money. The company's space flights have been on hold since one of its rockets exploded back in June. That was later blamed on a weak strut in the Falcon 9.
6:05, we could learn more today about a fire that ripped through a home in northwest Albuquerque over the weekend. It happened around 9 on Saturday night on 62nd Street near Coors. Albuquerque firefighters say they found a man unconscious inside that house. Firefighters were able to revive him. He was taken to a local hospital. Crews say they also found a dog inside that they could not save. The cause of the fire is under investigation. And happening today, Santa Fe County firefighters will be giving out free smoke detectors in the Pojoaque area. All residents need to do is call the number on your screen right there and then leave your name, address, and phone number. They say someone from the Firefighters Association will stop by your door to drop the detector off between 9 and noon.
With Christmas just days away, postal workers predict that today will be one of the busiest days of the season. Post offices were open Sunday collecting packages. One of the workers there tells us they're expecting a big rush of people today ahead of Christmas, so be aware of that as you head out the door.
Yeah, something to think about. A New Jersey Boy Scout leader has a big story to tell this morning after he was attacked by a bear. The scout leader was with 3 of his scouts while they were exploring a cave yesterday. When he went in by himself, the boy says he started screaming for help. The man says he started screaming for help in there, and one of the scouts then called 911. All 3 tried to coax the bear out of the cave. They used things like snacks, bananas, trail mix. When that didn't work, they started a fire and smoked the bear out. First responders were eventually able to find the group after about 3 hours. The scout leader is expected to be okay this morning. He suffered scratches to his head, other parts of his body, but apparently he was just sitting in there with the bear the whole time, hoping that he would be able to get away, and eventually was because of the scouts' actions.
That has to be terrifying.
They thought quickly, though,
Yeah.
to save him. Pretty cool.
What would you do? How 2 men reacted when an armed robber pointed a gun at them, demanding cash.
Plus, giving future programmers an edge, how a unique class is helping high school kids who want to get into the tech industry.
And saving lives, how one bill hopes to arm kids with the knowledge to help others in emergency situations. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to KRQE News 13 this morning. I'm Crystal Gutierrez.
And I'm Adam Atchison. Starting a Monday together, December 21st. The countdown is on. We got about 4 days till Christmas now.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are doing last minute shopping.
Not me. Why are you looking at me?
Not me either. I haven't done any. I have a lot left to do.
Maybe a few more gifts. But Kristen Curry says the weather should be okay.
That's
getting
nice.
a little cooler though, right, Kristen?
That's a plus.
Yeah, if you have some last minute shopping, today is definitely the best day to do so, as we do add in the rain and the snow chances back in the forecast starting tomorrow. Day planner shows 30s this morning. Later on today, we get into those upper 40s, so slightly cooler than what we had yesterday with the mix of sun and clouds. And you'll notice when it comes to those forecast highs across the state, we have 30s and 40s out over the northern portions of the state, and we have the 50s down over southern New Mexico. So it's near average for this time of year. We can't complain when it comes to those kind of temperatures in December, but we're pretty much going to stay there over the next couple of days, adding in the spot showers tomorrow and again on Wednesday. Northern mountains and southern Colorado San Juans, you look to do very well with the snow headed your way over the next several days, but a much bigger storm on the way for the weekend. Details on the timing of it all coming up here in just a few minutes.
Meantime, new this morning, a GoFundMe account to thank hotel staff and police dispatchers who handled Governor Susana Martinez's late night phone conversation has raised more than $200 today.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Just someone called us out there and we have to go.
Someone? Who is someone?
I can't give you that information, ma'am.
Why can you not? It is public record. Give it to me.
The incident happened at the El Dorado Hotel just over a week ago. Santa Fe police were responding to a noise complaint coming from the governor's room when the governor herself tried to step in. The audio recording of that conversation has since been picked up by a number of national news outlets, including the Washington Post. The governor says she's sorry about what happened, but maintains that she was not drunk.
I can't emphasize enough my apology to New Mexicans, but I can tell you that my judgment was not impacted by alcohol whatsoever.
Santa Fe police did investigate. No arrests were made or citations given out. A person who posted on GoFundMe over the weekend asks people to send a Christmas thank you to the dispatchers and hotel staff who handled the incident. You can hear the police dispatch calls right now on the KRQE News app.
Moving on to this morning, the office where the governor, Susana Martinez, once served as Doña Ana County's top prosecutor, is being asked to turn over documents connected to her. The Santa Fe New Mexican obtained the September 22nd federal grand jury subpoena through a public records request. Spokesman said in an email to the paper that the governor is not the subject of an investigation. A Georgetown University law professor said in an email to the New Mexican that while it's uncertain what the subpoena means, it looks like federal prosecutors may have been looking to add possible evidence regarding misused government resources. On to this morning, a New Mexico family is hoping a new bill will help save lives. The Madrid's 18-year-old son Jonathan died in August after he fell off a bike and injured his head. He was with friends at the time when it happened, but they say he didn't get help soon enough, and that's why the family, along with State Senator Michael Sanchez, is introducing what they call Jonathan's bill. The bill would require all New Mexico high school students to take a CPR and first aid class to graduate.
This would put something in their mind and be able to let them know they are capable of handling the situation until emergency responders came to the scene.
I mean, it's not going to bring back our son, but it'll help prevent other people from having to live this again.
Sanchez wants to add the CPR and first aid class to existing health classes that are required for high schoolers.
New overnight, investigators now believe a driver who plowed into a crowd of people on the Las Vegas Strip did it intentionally. Witnesses say people tried to stop her.
And it looked like she wasn't even trying to stop the car. She had both of her hands on the wheel and was looking straight forward.
According to investigators, the driver, who's in her 20s, pulled up onto the sidewalk before hitting the gas and ramming into the crowd of people in front of the Paris Hotel and Casino yesterday evening. Deputies say that she had a 3-year-old in the car with her. One person died. A total of 37 were taken to the hospital. At last check, 6 are in critical condition. The woman is expected to be charged soon.
On to this morning, at least 91 people are still missing after a major landslide struck a southern Chinese city overnight. Take a look at the devastating images on your screen. Chinese officials say dozens of buildings in an industrial park were toppled by a cascade of mud and debris. The slide was caused when a pile of construction waste and residue grew so steep it finally collapsed. Hundreds of emergency response personnel are carrying out rescue efforts as we speak, searching all of that debris for any survivors. So far, at least 13 people are in the hospital.
This morning, family and friends of an Albuquerque grandmother killed in a crash are preparing to say goodbye during services this week. Kathleen Krek Corshane was driving through the intersection of Coors and Tower earlier this week when a man driving a stolen pickup, police say, ran the light. She was on her way to pick up her grandson. Corshane and the other driver were both killed. The family says there will be a public memorial for Corshane at the Calvary Chapel near Tramway and Indian School on Wednesday night at 6:30.
Suspected car thief is behind bars this morning after trying to take advantage of someone else. According to a criminal complaint, a man left his Mercedes running with the doors unlocked at a gas station near Coors and Central on Saturday. Investigators say Miko Sikia jumped in and drove off. As he tried to get away, police say he slammed into a truck, knocking it into a wall. The suspect was caught and arrested on theft and assault charges.
A suspected robber is facing some charges this morning after his plans at a convenience store went downhill. Surveillance video from the Florida store shows the man being stopped by a clerk and a customer who decided to work together. Police say the robber walked in early in the morning on Saturday, pointed a gun at the clerk and customer, then demanded money. But instead, he got a fight from both men who took control, holding him down until police got there. Everybody in the end was okay, but police say the men are lucky that it did not go differently.
Yes, police do not condone doing this. Don't take action, especially when somebody's armed.
Looks like there were other people in the store, too. I see some people in the video there.